Now there's this Department of Energy study that says it's likely to have come from a lab leak, although the confidence is low. It cites the FBI.
So, as you note, Brett, the FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan. Let me step back for a second. You know, the FBI has folks, agents, professionals, analysts, virologists, microbiologists, et cetera, who focus specifically on the dangers of biological threats, which include things like novel viruses like COVID, and the concerns that in the wrong hands, some bad guys, a hostile nation state, a terrorist, a criminal, the threats that those could pose. So here you're talking about a potential leak from a Chinese government-controlled lab that killed millions of Americans, and that's precisely what that capability was designed for. I should add that our work related to this continues, and there are not a whole lot of details I can share that aren't classified. I will just make the observation that the Chinese government, seems to me, has been doing its best to try to thwart and obfuscate the work here, the work that we're doing, the work that our U.S. government and close foreign partners are doing, and that's unfortunate for everybody.
The evidence that was coming in that this, in fact, came out of this lab, it made sense from the beginning, and they lied about it, they covered it up.
Well, Sean, that's exactly right. As I sit here and listen to those folks on TV and read those headlines, it makes me angry. Because they're lying, they're deliberately lying. They knew they were lying. They are repeating the talking points of the Chinese Communist government. Democratic politicians were doing that, and the corporate media was doing that. It has been evidence. The overwhelming weight of the evidence for over 2 years now has been that this virus escaped from a Chinese government lab. And what's happened this weekend is we now have the bombshell report that not one but two agencies in the Biden administration have concluded the the COVID-19 virus came from a Chinese government lab. Number one, the Biden FBI has concluded that. And number two, this weekend, we learned their reports that the Biden Energy Department has concluded COVID-19 came from a Chinese government lab.